That could have just continued to snowball out of control. Um, but no, we weren't going to allow that. And so that took, you know, guys in the secondary being able to communicate and get settled down. That took more emphasis and more pressure on our front forward to kind of take over the game. That took an adjustment from Jim Schwartz to change the game plan and put us in, some calls that will allow us to play fast and at least get lined up. We were having a tough time there. And so all of those things together, we were able to get back to kind of the style of defense that we like playing. It wasn't perfect by any means or any stretch, but we just got guys that continue to believe and continue to fight. Um, and that's what we take pride.
Is that something that you asked?
In the worst way, what is it like to be sitting here now, just a game out of first place after all you guys have been through?
Well, I mean, before this, we were only 2 games out. So, I mean, while none of this has been enjoyable or what we've wanted in the season, the fact of the matter is we've never been out of reach. And so, and not to say that next week's going to be any easier. It's the same kind of process. We've got to be able to prepare. We still got the same issues with injuries and all these things. We got to find a way to come up with the best plan, prepare, get the guys ready, and then go compete again.
Is that something that you asked Schwartz for to simplify things?
I mean, yeah, just for from a secondary standpoint, it's just help us get lined up, just give us something simple to play, our base bread and butter stuff that everybody knows, and it just gave us a little bit of a boost because guys can settle down, communicate, get lined up, and at least be in position to make plays.
And when did you ask for that?
I think it was right after that long run by Saquon.
You were about as you were really animated after that series, talking to guys on the sidelines. You could see that. What message were you trying to convey there?
I mean, the biggest thing was just being able to settle down and get to a place where we can play fast. So from a player standpoint, we've got to be able to break the huddle, get lined up, see them coming out of the huddle. And then from a call standpoint, from our coaches and everything, we needed something that we can just not have to think about, not to communicate, just line up and play. And then I think once we started getting to that, figuring out what those calls were that guys could execute at a high level, obviously that momentum started to change.
Your interception at the end of the first half that basically not only kept them out of the end zone, but kept them from getting any type of score. Yeah. How much did that boost this defense, and especially going into the second half?
Yeah, I think, knowing our offense was getting the ball coming out of the half was a big jolt. I mean, you look at the game in its totality, obviously them not getting points right there is a big deal. But there's a few plays, series that we got stops on defense that ended up being everything that we needed. We needed every single play that we made. So really it's just one of many things.
Coming out from last week, which was a big disappointment, did you ever have a moment during the week where you weren't sure how it was going to go today?
You never know what the outcome is going to be.
I don't mean outcomes.
Yeah, I mean, what I did know is that throughout the week we're going to do as much as we could to prepare guys to go play. And that from a leadership standpoint, the guys who have the C on their chest and guys who consider themselves playmakers and leaders need to just set the pace and show up. And whether everybody was going to follow or not was yet to be seen. But I think we saw that and our team responded. So that's something that we have to continue to carry as leaders on the team, as playmakers on the team, to make sure that all week we're setting the pace, that our coaches and as well as the older players are preparing some of these young guys to compete. And then when we do step out on the field, we've got to be the ones that kind of start that wave and then allow everyone else to play their games.
I think Doug said he expected you to have a big role in the back end, kind of lining everyone up. Mm-hmm. Did you need to have that role, and how was that?
Yeah, I mean, especially we still had Sullivan go down, so it's another kind of moving piece. So it's just one of those things. Guys are getting a lot of looks that they haven't seen, quite frankly, and so a lot of that comes just with experience. So we're constantly talking, we're constantly communicating, and they'll continue to get experience as they go. But I thought they stepped up and challenged. They stepped up to the challenge. We didn't roll many coverages to them. We let them play on the outside by themselves. They gave up some plays, made some plays, but at the end of the day, they kept the confidence and kept playing, which is all we asked for. And so they'll continue to get better next week. Well, it's a race to get them just 1% better than they were this week.
The third down completion to Oakdale in the end zone, how big was that?
It was huge. Our back's against the wall right there. Momentum's switching a little bit. You know, even that play, we got all the coverage pushed over to the front side, so he's one-on-one. And I think everybody in the stadium knew where that ball was going. And to still come up with the plays was huge at that point.
It's almost